Good evening. Who's with me? Oh, if you're watching, I'm going to show you this. This is a little, hey, Lawans. This is it's a filter, a camera filter. But if you use it on the laptop, I should have this on already. Then I need to adjust it. It will help reduce the glare off of my glasses. So it's not quite as bad. I was searching, I Googled that a couple weeks ago. Hey, JJ. Oh, perfect. You're on your lunch. Okay, that's okay. Thanks for joining. But I was Googling a couple weeks ago to try to figure out how I could reduce the glare off my glasses. And I thought it was just a filter screen that I would put on the laptop. But come to find out that if you get little camera filter, you can use that and then adjust to the light. Like now you can see a lot of light in my glasses. If I keep adjusting, and it starts to go away. So there you go. Pretty cool. Hey, Amanda. Welcome in, guys. Thanks for joining tonight. We're going to continue with our ABCs in a little while. So I think hopefully if you guys were with us last week, you enjoyed doing that. We did our ABCs of characters, and I think we made it through all 26 letters, which is pretty cool. So we'll have a different topic tonight, and depending upon how much time we have, we might do two. So we'll see. I've got questions that were submitted that we'll answer. Hey, Tony, welcome in. And then I've got a little information to share, and then we'll get into playing our ABC game. But we'll give it a couple minutes here for anybody else who is going to join in, and then we'll get started. Appreciate you guys joining tonight. Hope everybody is having an amazing Wednesday. I always like to say it's Wishful Wednesday. Hope everybody's weather is good too. It's beautiful here. I went on a 3.5 mile walk before this, so I feel good to be sitting down, but I feel pretty good. I'm in my Disney training stage right now. We go 22 days from today, and so I am working hard to get in decent shape so that I can survive the Disney trip. Last year when we were there in September, we walked 84.5 miles in 7 days. It was insane. But fortunately, we'd been doing quite a bit of walking for the couple of months leading up to that. So ended up being pretty good. Didn't stress us out too badly. Hey, and of course, hey, Sophia, how are you? And the kittens, too. Glad you guys are on. I'm guessing Sophia is enjoying the kitty cats. JJ. Of course it was worth it. Absolutely. And, if your glass is half full, then you could look down and say, well, I still have 9 more toenails. So you were still doing pretty good. But that's very painful. But yes, absolutely worth it. Ask me to walk 84 miles in a week here at home, and there's not a chance I'm doing it. Ask me to do it down at Disney, and you better believe I'm doing it. So, Unicorns, how long will you have the kitties for? I can't remember. Assuming you don't adopt all of them. JJ, it absolutely is totally different. And then when I get on the airplane to fly home at the end of the trip, my legs remind me just how different it was and how much pain I'm in. Happy Mother's Day to you. You might adopt one of them. Well, that's cool. I still think your dog looked like it was being held hostage in that picture you shared. So we're going to give it a few more minutes, waiting for some others to join, hopefully. I don't see any of the 3 people that asked questions, so let me see if I can reach out here. Hey, Chris, how are you? Welcome in. All right, reaching out to a couple of people that had submitted questions. Um, JG, I think you're using that word need awful loosely. Okay, KB is working, so she won't be able to make it. Okay, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Cece's the other one. I reached out to Jessica. She submitted a question. We'll see if she's able to join. But then Cece was the other one that had submitted a question. So if you have the means to reach out to Cece, by all means, feel free to do so. Unicorn, same thing. You're using that word need awful loosely. I feel for that puppy of yours. I'm telling you, that dog looked like it was being held hostage. It had the look in its eyes of, what? Why are you doing this to me? I will say this, whether it's a puppy or a kitten, man, when they're babies, boy, do they seem so adorable. Tex-Mex, Anthony, hello. In your opinion, should Disney have built a new park there in Orlando to compete with Universal, or was it a good idea to build across the sea? So I personally don't believe Disney needs a new park in Orlando. If you're talking about to compete with Universal, I mean, Disney has 4, Universal has 3. If you want to throw in the water parks, Disney has 6, Universal has 4. So I don't necessarily think Disney needs a brand new park to compete with Universal. We'll see in the coming weeks when Universal is, officially open, and they have the grand opening on the 22nd, a week from tomorrow. What kind of dent Disney sees in crowds. I don't know that it's going to be that big. I think when Disney opens up the Central Americas in Animal Kingdom, and when they open up Monsters Inc. land in Hollywood Studios, and they open up Cars Land and Villains Land in Magic Kingdom, I think they're going to be just fine. I think a couple things. One, the new park in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates is going to be just like Tokyo, where it's not actually owned by Disney, just like Tokyo. So it's a little bit different in that sense. It's not like Disney World, Disneyland Paris. So that makes it somewhat unique. And I think the population over there probably calls for a park. And so I think they're going to draw a crowd there. With the park / resort being right on the waterfront, I think they're going to be able to do some really cool things out on the water that the other 7 properties of Disney around the world don't have the same experience with. Could very well be, Chris. I know they're advertising that this new park will be the most technologically advanced of all of the parks. Well, to me, that statement, for me personally, and I don't mean any offense, but to me, that statement is like saying tomorrow morning the sun's going to come up. I mean, why wouldn't a brand new park not be the most technologically advanced? I mean, look at the new rides at Disney World and the technology that they have compared to things like Haunted Mansion or Winnie the Pooh or any of those older rides. It's just new stuff has better technology. So I don't know that I agree with they're selling it as being the most technologically advanced. Yeah, it'll be beautiful, Anthony, no doubt about it. It will absolutely be beautiful. Hey, Blake, how are you? Never late to the party. Eric, hello. News 6 said today the maximum peak price range for a one-day ticket will be $199 for both Disney and Universal. Yeah, so here's the thing. As long as Disney World, well, let's just focus on Orlando. As long as Disney World and Universal continue to fill their parks up, there's no reason for them not to continue to raise prices. And I hate to say that because I want Disney to be affordable for everybody, just like I think we all do. But it's the law of supply and demand in economics. And if the demand is still there, It's no different than anything else. Hey, Helen, welcome in. Been eating and getting settled for the night. Awesome. We have not really started. We've been just chatting here a little bit. So no worries there. And Cece, I see that you're here. So let's go ahead and start. Because Cece, you're here. You had the very first question. Yeah, JJ, I mean, really, when you think about what you get done in an entire day, even if it's a one-day park pass for $200, it's pretty doggone good when you think about it. And if you're there multiple days, the cost per day goes down as far as the price of the ticket overall goes. So it's still a really good value. There's no doubt about it. And again, if the price where it's at today was a problem, Disney's resorts would not be sold out, and they are. I mean, could I go online right now and try to find a room for tomorrow at Disney? I'm sure I could. Would it be at all 27, 25 resorts? Absolutely not. It might be 2 or 3 resorts that have rooms, and it might be pretty high priced deluxe resorts. So as long as Disney's filling their rooms, they're doing something right. No doubt about it. I personally think so. I think the question was asked about the investment overseas as opposed to a new park at Disney World. I think the fan in all of us would love a 5th park. I wouldn't lie. I would love to have a 5th park. And I think a lot of us would say, make that a villains park. It'd be really cool. You could do a little bit more adult-like things at Halloween, for instance, and maybe not so much kid-centric like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween is. But the expense is just incredible when you think about it. It's not just, hey, Jessica, it's not just building the park and the rides. I mean, you've got all of the plumbing and the sewers and electrical. You've got parking, you've got roads. There's so much more that goes into it. And when you build a new park, you inevitably will have to build 1, 2, 3 new resorts wrapped in and around that park. So the effort, the project, and the price tag is enormous. I think if I were Disney, do what you're doing, because I think there's still room in the parks to add more attractions. We're seeing that. And yes, I get with Magic Kingdom, we're giving up Tom Sawyer's Island, we're giving up the Liberty Bell. And if you're a traditionalist, it's sad to lose those things. However, they weren't very popular. And that's the reason why they're replacing them with Cars Land, because you're going to see much more traction in that area with the new rides that come out with Cars Land. I think Disney could spend the money on a new resort, getting more people staying on property. I'm also one who believes I think Disney should provide more value to resort guests. And whether that's bringing back the Magical Express, the transportation from the airport to the resorts, or maybe throwing in free magic bands, throwing in something additional to what they already offer today, I would have no problem with that whatsoever. I think that the experience in the bubble is pretty magical. And if they added a little bit more to it, I think it'd be great. So anyway, okay. So let's dive into our questions, because I can't wait to play our ABCs towards the end here. If you're new with us tonight, welcome in. Thank you for joining. My name is Mike. I'm a travel agent that specializes in all things Disney. We do these Park Life Lives every Wednesday night at 7:30 Eastern. I have a Discord page that people submit questions, and I work to answer those questions on these lives. I'll cover any news, rumors, things that have come out over the past week. And then at the end, I either have questions to ask all of you, or in this case, we have a kind of a game that we'll play. We started it last week, and we'll continue to do the same at the end tonight. So with that said, Cece had the first question, and she asked, if I have a family member that gets motion sickness on rides, can they still do the pre-show queue with the family without having to ride the ride? So I would picture something like Rise of the Resistance, maybe with an amazing queue line. Flight of Passage might be another one. There's several others, and I don't want to name all of them, but that's essentially, I think, Cece, what your question is. And the answer to that is yes, you can enjoy the experience of the pre-shows at Disney World attractions without riding. When you get to the boarding area or the boarding point, you'll let a cast member know that you wish to exit, and they will direct you to where you need to go. Now, if you Googled or if you looked at any amusement parks, this is kind of comparable to the idea of having the quote unquote chicken exit that some people they have this brave notion that I'm going to ride this ride, and then the anxiety builds as they're in line, getting up towards the front of the line, and by the time they get up to where it's time to load, they'd change their mind. So that's similar in this nature. This isn't, I don't think, a case where your person's changing their mind. They are getting in the line knowing they don't want to ride because of motion sickness, but they want to be able to spend time with their family and enjoy the pre-show stuff. So yes, you can do that. Let me see here. What am I missing? Anything? Fair trade-offs and good use of the land. Yes, Anthony, that's right. Miss the magic bands and luggage tags. Yes, Helen, I would agree with you there. Jessica, I just booked my airline tickets today for November. I'm excited. Eric, I think it's a great idea. More hotels, a fifth park, and a private luxury lounge for the Orlando airport. I tell you, I know I mentioned the Magical Express. Something that there is work being done, and I don't know the end date, but I'll call it the bullet train, if you will, from Miami up to Orlando International Airport is supposed to have a stop like right across the street from Disney Springs. I think that's pretty cool and could open up an opportunity for transport. The problem, though, is once you get to Disney Springs, you got to get to your resort. And yes, there are Disney buses, free transportation that run from the Springs to the resorts. You're not allowed to bring luggage on those buses, though. So that's the downside. They've got to figure out a solution there, but I think it's something that they could work out. Cece, are you good with that response as far as being able to get in the lines for a family member with motion sickness? That would be you on Tower of Terror, Helen. JJ, you're all about the chicken exit. That's funny. Okay, perfect, Cece. I'm glad. Thank you. Okay, Jessica, you're up next. So Jessica asked, what is one freebie experience in each part of Magic Kingdom? So that was your question that you submitted, Jessica. And so I have information. Now, some of it is going to be expanded outside of Magic Kingdom, but in the bubble of different things that you can enjoy. No way you're going past the lobby, Helen. That's funny. I will say this, though. The Tower of Terror queue and going into that building, it's incredible. If you've never done it, I would encourage you to try to do it. And then if you decide not to ride when you get there, let the cast member know. But the experience is really cool inside that hotel. All right, so Jessica, freebie experiences in Magic Kingdom. So no particular order other than how I wrote them down, I suppose. In the store right behind the castle, it's called Sir Mickey's. You can get pixie dusted there. So it's, a cast member will come out with a wand and you close your eyes and they have something that they say, and then they sprinkle pixie dust on your head. It's a really cool experience. It's free. Kids love it. Even big kids like me love it. It's a lot of fun. So I would do that. Helen, I wasn't going to suggest that you get on the ride. Oh, JJ, thanks for joining, though. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening at work. That's all right. Helen, I know. But again, the experience inside, you should try that. Okay, so Jessica, so pixie dusting, Sir Mickey's right behind the castle. You can get free ice water in all 4 of the parks at any of the quick service, counter service locations. I always encourage that you do that. I'm looking around for my props and I don't have them with me. I have a collapsible drink container that I bring with me. And so when it's time to get my free ice water, I'll get 2 of the small cups and I'll pour those into I'll expand it, pour those into my collapsible drink mug or drink container. I put like a packet of electrolytes or lemonade or something like that in it just to provide a little flavor. And then I drink that down. And when I'm done, I collapse the mug back up. I have a little carabiner clip. It clips right onto the strap of my bag. Easy peasy. So ice water is free. Don't pay for the bottled water. Is what I would encourage. You bought them. What'd you buy, Jessica? The mugs, the collapsible things? I'll watch for what your answer is, but I'll keep going. If you're the bottles, awesome. Yeah, those are great. I love them. If you are celebrating anything, make sure you get celebration buttons, whether it's first time ever there, birthday, anniversary, um, just a celebration. I can tell you, 2009, I can't remember. I think it was 2009. The first time we went after I had my first kidney cancer experience, we'll call it experience. I had a button that said I survived cancer, and I proudly wore that, and I had a lot of comments about it. So if you're celebrating anything, by all means, get a celebration button. Now, Jessica, when we're there in November, I know somebody has a birthday right around our trip, which is perfect. But for everybody, don't feel like if your birthday is 4 weeks later or 4 weeks before or 6 weeks or 8 weeks, get the button. Disney wants you to celebrate and they want to help celebrate with you. So I would tell you to do that. The day of the trip, I knew that, Jessica. Sometimes cast members, as they're walking around the parks, will have free stickers that your little ones can get from them. Now, this freebie isn't necessarily a cool thing like pixie dusting, whatever, but each of the 4 parks has a first aid station. Inside, it's air conditioned. They'll take great care of you if you need Band-Aids, if you need ibuprofen or aspirin, other general medications, they will have those free for you to utilize. I've talked about moleskin before on here, and I know on one of my podcasts, I can't remember if it's coming up or one that I already did. I showed moleskin. I'm trying to look at my list here. What is today? Okay, next Monday's podcast that I comes out with, it's things to pack in your park bag. So moleskin, check out that podcast. I'll show you what it looks like. They have it in the first aid stations. It's a lifesaver for blisters. Totally got a birthday button last September. Your birthday was... See, exactly, Helen. That's exactly what I'm saying. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. At most resorts, they do movie Under the Stars at night. So if you're back from the parks, but you're not ready to go call it a night in your room, they'll have different setups in different resorts. Most of them have it out by the pool area. They'll have a giant screen and they'll have seating, and you can watch a Disney movie that they're showing. When you get to resort, typically inside by the lobby where you check in, there is an activities board. Look at that, check it out, see what's going on for the week that you're there, or the 4 days that you're there, whatever it is, and enjoy the offerings that they have. If you're interested in this, at Wilderness Lodge, which is the big wood log cabin type style resort, that's a boat ride from the Magic Kingdom entrance, they offer free tours. If you've ever wanted to look at the resort, had an interest in it, you can go over there and ask for a tour. They'll set that up and take you on a tour. Back to the most resorts comment. Most resorts will do a kind of a campfire where you can roast marshmallows. In the evenings, again, look at your activity boards at your resorts. I'm going to hop back. I'm going to hop into a park, but this time it's Epcot, Jessica. At Club Cool, they have free soda for tastings. You get little tiny, almost shot glass sized paper cups. That's where, if any of you ever hear Beverly mentioned, that's where you can get the Beverly. It's different Coke products from around the world. So China, Russia, the Dominican Republic, I think Jamaica. I can't remember the others, but you can try those. It's free. You can fill up as many times as you want and enjoy that. Also at Epcot, specifically wrapped around the festival seasons. So for those of us that will be there in November for the Park Life Party, that will be going on, or we'll be there when Food and Wine Festival is still going on, that early mid part of November. And so there's typically concerts that are happening tied in with the festivals, and they're free. You may have to stand in line to get in to see them, but those are free. You can enjoy those. I mentioned campfires at your resorts. If you want to go over to Fort Wilderness Lodge, there is a free campfire sing-along with Chip and Dale. So you get some of the character experiences for your kids with campfire and singing. That's completely free. While we're at Fort Wilderness Lodge, you can go over to the Tri-Circle D Ranch. That's where they have their horses, the ones that they do pony rides or horse rides, the horse-drawn carriages. If you're ever inside Magic Kingdom and you see the horse trolley that goes up and down Main Street, that's where they keep those horses. They have ponies there. Hi, Ruby. How are you? Good to see you. Well, good to see that you're with us. How about that? So if you love horses, ponies at all, check out Tri-Circle D Ranch. It's all free. You can go check that out. In 2025, for anybody going on a trip and staying at a Disney resort, you get free water park admission on your arrival day. So if you get there early enough in the day, you can go over to the water park and enjoy for 1 hour, for 4 hours, however long you're there. Free admission for everybody in your reservation. Her nails just got done. That's awesome. Very cool, Ruby. Very cool. If you are there, like, so when we go at the end of this month, we fly down on a Thursday, but we don't land until like 4 in the afternoon. So, or I think it's 2:30 or something like that. By the time we get to our resort, it's probably 4 in the afternoon. So it'll be too late to enjoy the water park free entry day. It'll be too late for us to go into any of the parks. You can go to Grand Floridian, to Polynesian, to the Contemporary, and even to Wilderness Lodge and watch Happily Ever After free of charge. I know in the first 3 resorts I mentioned, Grand, Flow, Poly, and Contemporary, they will pipe in the music for Happily Ever After, so you can enjoy that for free. Should we meet for dinner, Jessica? We can absolutely do that. I'll touch base with you as we get closer to November. Right now, and just being open and honest, I'm focused on my trip in at the end of this month with family, with little Briggs and my parents going. If you weren't with us in the past, there's 4 generations of my family going. So I'm super excited about that. It's 3 weeks from tomorrow. But I can promise you this, Jessica, as soon as we get back on June 3rd, by June 4th, I'm thinking wholeheartedly on November with the event there. So we will absolutely talk about that. I got 2 more freebies on my list. And then if anybody has one that I didn't mention that you know of, by all means, share it in the chat. Love to have you share. Magic Kingdom, outside the Magic Kingdom in Seven Seas Lagoon, every night, weather permitting, they have the electric water pageant. I think it's around 9 or 9:30 at night. It depends upon time of year and the sunset when it gets dark. But that's completely free. Again, you could be standing outside the Magic Kingdom. You could take your bus from All Stars to the Magic Kingdom that evening, hop off, and just hang out there and watch the water pageant, and then get on your bus and head back to your resort. You could absolutely do that. So there's that. And then the last thing I had written down, inside Magic Kingdom in Adventureland over by Pirates of the Caribbean, there's a Pirates Adventure scavenger hunt that is free. You can do that. CC, bounty hunting with the Disney Play app. Yes, so the Disney Play app has different games throughout the parks that you could do. That's another great option. Thanks, CC. I appreciate that. So, for Disney being as expensive as it is, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that, they do offer some nice things. It's a pretty decent list of things that I rattled off that are free to do. A lot of them are great things to do outside of the parks on maybe a non-park day. I mean, I think about our arrival at the end of this month. We get to our resort around 4. We're going to check in, dump our stuff, and we're going to take little Briggs down to the pool. And he's either going to love it, and it's going to be hard to get him out of that water an hour or 2 hours later, or he's not going to like it, and then we won't have to worry about the pool the rest of the time. But we'll grab dinner. We might go over and watch the fireworks from one of the resorts. We might stay at our resort and watch the movie Under the Stars that evening. We will take advantage of some of those freebies that Disney makes available to us, that's for sure. Jessica, are you good? Any follow-up questions on that? Anything that you were hoping to hear that I didn't say? Helen, how does he feel about characters? So if I could hold my phone up and it wouldn't show a glare, I would absolutely show you what he looked like at Easter time when the daycare that he goes to had the Easter Bunny come. Uh, he was not digging that at all. So, how's he going to feel about characters? We're going to find out. Now, one thing I think we have going for us, you know what? Maybe I will do that, Helen. One thing I think we have going for us is that we watch a lot of Disney when we're over at their house watching Briggs. So he absolutely knows who Mickey Mouse is and Donald Duck and Goofy and Ariel and Stitch and, Moana. He loves Moana. He loves that movie. So he knows the characters from the movies. I'm hoping that will help, first off. Secondly, Easter Bunny at the daycare was the daycare employee plopping him on the bunny's lap and walking away, and there he was crying. With this, if he's unsure, he can have mom or dad or me or Lori holding him with the character. So we have that. Then the third thing, well, there's four. Third thing is we could start with the face characters. So the princesses, for instance, that's a human character and not a cast member inside of a costume. That's the third thing that we could certainly try. And the fourth would be, before we go see any characters in meet and greets, maybe we wait and see the cavalcade, or we see the parade, Festival of Fantasy parade, so we can see the characters from 10, 15, 20 feet away, and hopefully get a sense of comfort and excitement that way, and then work towards the meet and greets. Janie, yeah, some Easter bunnies are really creepy. I totally agree with you there. So he was 5 months younger, but he didn't like Santa Claus either. And to go one step further than that, of course, he was even younger than this, but on Halloween, I dress up as Santa Claus and sit outside and hand out Halloween candy and candy canes. Been doing it for 10, 15 years, something like that. And they came over, Tyler and Kennedy came over with Briggs last Halloween. And okay, Jessica, sounds good. They came over for Halloween because he was, at the time, let's see, August, September, October, he was 14 months old, too young to go trick-or-treating. But they came over to our house. And so they got there, and I was full Santa sitting out in a chair and out in the driveway. And they got out of the car, and Kennedy was holding Briggs and walked towards me. And Briggs was already pulling away from me at that point in time. Even though he heard my voice, and I'm sure he recognizes my voice, it wasn't his papa. So they went ahead and went inside so that he wasn't tortured. An hour and a half later, when it's time for me to kind of shut it down because we don't have trick-or-treaters coming anymore to the house, or hadn't in 10, 15 minutes, whatever, I went inside. And I walked into the room where they were at, and you could see him tense up right away. I took my hat off, still had my white wig on, had my white beard on. I took the beard off, and boom, right away, he knew it was me, and he was cool as a cucumber. So I'm hoping that and the Easter Bunny, that we're building up towards him being able to handle the characters. But Helen, good question. And that's one of the intriguing things that we are all waiting to see how it goes. He's never been on an airplane before, so that'll be new. He's never been on any rides of any kind, even a train. He's not been on a train. So lots of new things for little Briggs that we'll be excited to see how that goes. So anyway. Okay, I have one more. KB, who Chris had said she had work tonight, so she's not on. So I wanted to get to this that way. Hopefully she'll listen or watch the replay on this. But she asked if I could talk about the 2 brand new bars that are going to be opening this year at Walt Disney World. So the first one is at Epcot, and that's called Geo 82. It is a bar that is set to open June 4th, so less than a month now. It's opening June 4th. It's on the backside of Spaceship Earth, or like I like to say, it's on the backside of the giant golf ball at Epcot. It's actually in the same building that the golf ball ride is. And my kids have called it the golf ball ride since they were little. And my oldest is 35 and my middle son's 30. So we've called it the golf ball ride for decades. So it'll be there opening June 4th. It is exclusive to ages 21 and up. If you're not 21, you're not getting in. They will check IDs. Valid photo ID is required. My guess is if I walked in there, they're probably going to card me. And look, we all know that I don't look anywhere close to 21, but I think they will be very protective of that. So if you're going to go, plan on having your photo ID with you, even if you're 31, 41, 51, doesn't matter. Space is very limited. It is a small bar in general, and they highly encourage advanced reservations. You may not get in if you don't have a reservation when that opens up next month. They will have a limited appetizer menu with prices ranging from $14 up to about $29. They'll have a variety of cocktails, mixed drinks, beers, and wine. And they limit you to 45-minute stay per party. So if you've got a reservation, the expectation is 45 minutes, and then you're getting up from your table and heading out. I think part of that is because of the small size of the bar. Liken it to Oga's Cantina at Hollywood Studios, pretty small in nature. So I think limiting the amount of time is allowing more guests to be able to enjoy the bar. I think the other reason, to be quite open and honest, is 45 minutes does not allow any one person to drink too much alcohol before they head back out into the park. So I think that's another reason why they limit the amount of time you can be there. So GO82 opening June 4th at Epcot on the backside of the giant golf ball ride. Magic Kingdom, they just announced this, it was either yesterday or today. The name of the new bar that's being built at Magic Kingdom is called Beak and Barrel. That's a B, Beak and Barrel. It is next to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So it's in Adventureland near Pirates of the Caribbean. This does not have age requirements. It's not a 21 and older bar. Anyone can attend. As they worded it, it will be a welcoming haven for all pirate kind, from seasoned swashbucklers to budding buccaneers. So any age group there. Again, space will be limited in this bar, and they will likely limit to 45 minutes per party. They highly recommend advanced reservations. The menu will include quick bites, beverages, and cocktails for those that are 21 and older, and you'll obviously have to show ID. Right now, the opening date just says late 2025. So if I were a betting man, late 2025, probably in time for the holiday season, November, December timeframe would be my guess. The date for the opening and the actual menu will be announced at a later time closer to the opening. They will offer swashbuckling sing-alongs, storytelling, and pirate surprises for the guests that are inside the bar. So a lot more, I'm sure, will come on Beak and Barrel. Janie, I am with you there. I totally agree. I don't have a problem if you're at a sit-down reservation restaurant that maybe you can get a cocktail. That I don't mind one, but I would agree with you. I would rather alcohol stay over mainly in Epcot around the World Showcase. But that's the way the world is heading, unfortunately. And as I think a lot of you probably see on social media, and Janie, I know you're down there and might see it when you're in the parks, but more and more guests seem to feel more and more entitled to act however they want to. And throwing a little alcohol in them probably is not going to help that whatsoever. It'll probably just magnify it. So that's the story behind the bars. So hopefully KB will get a chance to listen to that. And if she has questions, she can let me know. If anybody has questions on the bars, any news that's come out, by all means, you can reach out and let me know. Let's dive into current promotions, and then I'm going to talk about some summer stuff, and then we'll get into our game. If there's anybody who's not here, hey, Scal, how are you? We're lurking from work. That's cool. If there's not anybody who's not on that was on last week or is usually on, reach out to them. Have them come join us. I know somebody who's not on right now. I'm going to ping them real quick here. Okay. Let me do one more. Okay. Probably the same person you just texted. I bet one of them is. So good. Helen, maybe both of us knock on their door. They'll join us. Okay, let's talk promotions. So some of these I've shared in the past, but they're still active. Disney Plus subscribers, if you're a Disney Plus subscriber or somebody in your party is a Disney Plus subscriber, they have room specials for stays June 29th through July 31st. So all of July and the last couple of days of June. $99 for All Stars. I think it's $169 for Port Orleans Riverside, $229 for Saratoga Springs, or $229 might have been the Art of Animation suite. But amazing prices, room only discount for Disney Plus subscribers. For anybody, don't have to be Disney Plus subscriber. They have up to 30% off rooms August 1st through October 11th for 5-night stays or longer. If you are a Florida resident, they have up to 35% off rooms that same stretch August 1st through October 11th for 4 nights or longer. 50% off kids tickets for ages 3 through 9. That runs all summer from May 27th through September 20th. I'm going to jump to Disneyland real quick, and then I'm going to go back to Disney World. But Disneyland, 4-day ticket for $100 per day for May 16th, which is the start of their 70th anniversary celebration, through August 14th. And if you're a Disney Visa card holder, you can get up to 30% off rooms that same stretch, May 16th through August 14th. They just announced a new promo if you're a Florida resident for park days May 18th through September 27th. So again, all summer long, a 4-day base ticket, no hopper with that 4-day base ticket, $240, $60 per day for Florida guests, Florida residents. 3-day base is $225 and a 2-day base is $210. If you want to add the park hopper on top of those prices, it's $40. You do have to provide proof of Florida residency at the gate, and you do have to make park reservations. Okay, if you're a Florida resident, that park ticket promotion, you can essentially stack that, if you will, on top of the Florida resident up to 35% off room rates. We book them separately. We book the room only, get you that discount, and then we buy the ticket separately, get you that discount. That's how you stack promotions. If you're not a Florida resident, you can do the Disney Plus room specials for this summer, and then you could get, for any of your kids ages 3 through 9, 50% off tickets. So there are ways to take advantage of more than one promotion at a time. And that is something that I think you'd want to do if you're planning on heading down there. So great promotions. If you're going to be there over the summer, May 27th through September 1st, Disney World is calling this the Cool Kids Summer. Some of the different things that they have going on in the parks during this time frame. At Communicore Hall in Epcot, the new facility there, they're going to rename it Goofy Core. There will be Goofy dance parties and interactive games. That's at Epcot. At Animal Kingdom, they will have hands-on crafts at Rafiki Planet Watch. There will be celebration sing-alongs at Discovery Island over by the Tree of Life. Hollywood Studios in the animation courtyard, they will have games, crafts, and roaming performers, which would include magicians and jump rope artists. Pretty cool. They will have surprise character appearances. That one excites me because I will be there during this stretch at the end of May, beginning of June. So I'm interested to see who the surprise characters are. I don't know if they mean surprise because they will be there when you wouldn't expect them to be, or if they will be surprises because they are unique characters that aren't usually there for meet and greets. So I'm excited for that. Also at Hollywood Studios, they will have an indoor dance party with Mickey and Disney Junior friends. And then This isn't necessarily specific to the Cool Kids Summer, but on May 27th, the 2 new shows open at Hollywood Studios. The Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After opens. That is in the building that used to be Lightning McQueen's Race Academy, right by Rock and Roller Coaster and near Tower of Terror. And then The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, also opens on May 27th. That is in the building that used to have the original Little Mermaid show, right at the entrance to the animation courtyard. If you're walking from the entry of Hollywood Studios and you can see the Chinese theater straight ahead, it's over to your right. So that's some stuff going on this summer if you're going to be there at all. Pretty exciting things. I'm going to take a pause, take a drink. Any questions, comments anybody has? Now is the time to find your friends and have them join us. We're about ready to start up our ABC game. Hope you guys are ready. I think last week's was easy doing character. Couldn't find the ears, but found a shirt. Awesome, Jessica. So we're going to start up the ABC game here in a minute. If you were not with us last week, kind of give you the idea. We started with the letter A. We did Disney characters. We started with the letter A, and people put in the chat a name of a character that started with an A. Now, Helen, you need to go back and watch. It was fun. We had a good time. I think we did hit all 26 letters with character names. Jessica, you're trying to plan your outfits to match already? Wow, that's awesome. I love it. I'm not quite that good. I'm still working on some of my May stuff, although I think I have all my shirts picked out. Actually found a Stitch baseball jersey, short sleeve button-up, full button-up jersey for like $17 at Walmart. I was totally excited about that, so I have that. Cece, I thought it was fun last week doing the characters. So we're going to do another category tonight. But yeah, if there's somebody not on that you thought you want to have them join us, go beat on their door right now. So Janie, I understand exactly what you're saying there, because based on the age of the kids, as a parent, when they want to start talking, you take advantage of it, right? And you engage with them because they don't always want to talk to mom and dad. So I totally get that. Oh, that's awesome, Jessica. I love that. I will tell you, as a family, we have never, ever worn matching shirts. Not even one day in the park. My boys were like, not happening, not going to do it. So we didn't, after like the first trip or two, and they were like not happening, we never even talked about it. 2 years ago, my wife and I went for our anniversary, and I suggested to her, hey, do you want to get matching shirts for each of the park days? And she about fell out of her chair because she thought that was a dead topic that would never happen. So we got matching shirts for each of our park days that we were there for. It was our 30th anniversary trip. Jessica, I totally get that. I feel it for Steve. Absolutely. I did it with Lori because, again, it was our 30th anniversary. It was just the two of us. And I thought, what the heck? We were going to celebrate and wanted to make a deal out of it. When we went for my graduation, I had outfits planned for each park, and for Mother's and Father's Day, I got mom and dad one shirt each. That's awesome. It was not a hit. Helen, that's funny. I think that's awesome though. I know it's not for everybody, and that's okay. I know they're on the other side of the spectrum are people that they do the hardcore bounding, where their outfits resemble a character in the park, and those are amazing. So, all right, we are going to start our game here in about 2 minutes. The couple people I texted, did I get some? Okay, so not sure where one is. Just a fun shirt for the parks, but no. Oh, Helen, I like that though. I think that's cool. So anyway, okay, so last week we did the ABCs for Disney character. This week, we'll see how it goes. I have 3 different categories, but we'll start with one and we'll see where we're at on time when we wrap that up. So I think we will just start with the next one on my list here. So we're going to do the ABCs. This is for Disney. You know what? Disney World or Disneyland. I'll give you either park. Start with letter A. We're going to do rides. Must be a ride. There's some wiggle room there as far as what is considered to be a ride. I would say if the seat you're in moves, then it's considered to be a ride. So we will start with the letter A for rides. Jessica has dropped Aladdin, so Aladdin's Magic Carpet will work for letter A. Ariel is one that Helen just said. Astro Orbiter says Janie and Amanda. I'm trying to think, Helen, whether the specific name of that ride, if it's Ariel or not. Alice in Wonderland ride in Disneyland. Astro Blasters. What's Astro Blasters? That one I don't know. It must be a Disneyland ride because I'm not familiar with Astro Blasters in Disney World. Your brain might be too tired. That's okay, Helen, because there are some rides that I think we all affectionately call them something, and you might fill that in for the answer, but it's not the official name of the ride. So for A, I also had Astro Orbiter as my A ride. So let's go ahead and move to B. What is your ride that starts with the letter B? Barnstormer, says Amanda. It's in the Disneyland video game. That's cheating, Jessica. You can't do that. Barnstormer, says Helen. Buzz Lightyear shooting game. I think it's Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, I think is what it's called. So Buzz Lightyear would work for the B ride. Anybody else got one? Where the heck's Tina at? Last week, her and her daughter Ava were playing. Cece, are you still with us? Where's your Star Wars names? You were ready for characters. That was last week, Jessica. We did characters last week. Barnstormer. Helen's getting meds. Be right back. BRB is not a ride name. That's be right back. Be right back. Yes. Okay. Yeah, where the heck's Tina at? Her and Ava were playing like crazy last week. All right. Are we ready to move to the letter C? C rides. What is a ride that starts with the letter C? Some of these get harder. I can tell you that when I worked through this, there were some letters I couldn't think of rides. Carousel of Progress says Cece. That is one of those that I said, if the seat you're in moves, it's considered a ride. That's Carousel of Progress. Fits that bill completely. So perfect Cece on that one. I'm trying to think of any others. If I go back to A, Alien Swirling Saucers at Hollywood Studios would have worked. Nobody else has a C other than Cece's Carousel of Progress. You're bad at this, Jessica. That's all right. I had Carousel of Progress as well for mine. So let's move to D. Any rides that start with the letter D? I can think of two immediately off the top of my head. Dumbo was one of the two that I had off the top of my head. Dinosaur, Cece, that was the other one. If nobody said that one, I was going to prep with this ride will be closing in the next several months. So those are the two D rides that I had in my head. Not sure if there are any others. I'm trying to think through. can't think of any. Okay. Letter E. Who's got an E ride? Expedition Everest. Very good, Janie. Double E. Everest, Amanda, yes. Everest. I think that's going to be the winner. Everest is what I had on my list as well. So let's go to